So you're thinking about moving to the Killeen, Temple, Texas area? Well, in today's video, you definitely don't want to miss it because today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of a brand new home. We're going to get after it right now. Welcome back, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. And if this is the first time to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified about what's going on in here in the Killeen, Temple, Texas area in Central Texas. Again, my name is Chico Martinez and I'm with the Living in Central Texas channel. And today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of buying a new home. This is very important because I know that buying a home, especially if you can buy a home similar price to a home that's older, why not get it new, right? So today we're gonna be talking about those pros and cons. And pro number one is about customization. Buyers can often choose layouts, finishes, and upgrades to fit their preferences. So whenever we're out there looking at properties and we're talking to a builder, you know, like KB Homes or Flint Rock or Stylecraft or DR Horton or whoever, okay? And usually you can do some custom touches. Now, it's gonna have to be custom touches within the designs that they already have, but you can choose sometimes different color cabinetry, backsplash, certain things that give it a little touch more to your liking. Now, if you want a fully customized home, then that's when you're gonna have to build your own house from the ground up, right? You're gonna get an engineer, get some plans ready, and then you can actually customize it to your liking. But if you're going to a new home builder, you can add these customized touches depending on the design and the touches or the finishes that they have available for that design. Okay, now a con of a newer home is that usually it's at a higher price, right? So that's con number one. New homes typically cost more per square foot than resale homes, especially with upgrades. And this is true, right? I'm seeing out there in my market that new homes, usually a couple blocks away, are being sold at a similar price point from a resale home. However, these new homes are like at 1,200 to 1,400 square feet, and resale homes are around 1,500 to 1,600 square feet, selling at the same price. So you get an older home, slightly bigger, for about 100 or 200 square feet bigger, but these newer homes are being, since they're new, they're making them a little bit smaller and they're kind of selling them within the same price point. So that's a choice, a decision that you as the homeowner is gonna have to make, whether you want a resale or you want a brand new home. So that's con number one, that they are usually going for a higher price per square foot, okay? Pro number two would be that they have energy efficiency, right? So they're energy efficient. New homes come with modern insulation, windows, and appliances that lower utility bills. That is very true, right? Obviously, in a brand new home, everything has to be brand new, right? And a lot of these builders are also giving out incentives for people so that they can get modern, new energy efficient appliances. And that's also a tax write-off if you're able to get energy efficient appliances. Just a little tip on the side, right? So whether you have an older home or a newer home, anything that you buy that's energy efficient, you can actually write it off in taxes. But don't take my word for it, talk to your accountant, okay? Now, con number two would be smaller lots. This is very true. And I'm sure that if you drive by some of the neighborhoods that are being built brand new, you're gonna see that they're gonna try to squeeze as many properties into the area as much as possible. So much that you can literally open up your window and look straight into your neighbor's living room, okay? So that is very true. Smaller lots. Many new communities have higher density, meaning less yard space compared to older homes, right? Older homes, bigger lots. Newer homes, smaller lots. Okay, now that may not necessarily be a bad thing if you're a person that doesn't like to have too much yard maintenance. Okay, right? So if you're a person that just wants to have a quick mow, you mow that lawn real quick, because you definitely don't want to be in the Texas heat at 100 degrees or you're out there mowing a heavy deal, right? So that could be seen as a pro, but generally the general public, they see that as a con, right? So pro number 3 would be lower maintenance costs. Everything is brand new, reducing the need for repairs and replacement in the near future. This is true. Everything is brand new. However, just because it's brand new doesn't mean that everything's perfect. Sometimes appliances damage, or they come bad from the factory and they gotta replace it. So the good thing about that is we'll talk about that in the 4th pro. Okay. Construction delays is con number 3, because supply chain issues, weather or labor shortages can push back move-in dates. That is very true, especially during COVID. During COVID, I had, 5 or 6 people that were looking into new construction. Supposedly, this happened during 2020. Supposedly, we were gonna close in April on a few of them. And it so happened that when the shutdown of the government happened, now that April deadline pushed all the way to September, because there was a shortage of wood, there was a shortage of cement, and it just became crazy. It's like, dude, like what's going on, right? So that is a con. You can have construction delays, okay? And that can push back the date of your move-in. So, if you're expecting to move in at a certain date, unless that property is pretty much done by the time you get there to look at it, then, even the sales rep are going to tell you, don't get your hopes up, because we may have to push it back, depending, a week or 2 or maybe a month, depending on the things. Okay, so that could be a con for somebody who wants to move in right away into their home. Pro number 4, and this is where we left off, builder warranties. Many builders offer warranties on major systems like the HVAC, the plumbing, electrical, and structural components. So within that year, okay, let's say you move in, all of a sudden you see that your AC unit and things are not going good, you can always go back to the builder and say, hey, this is happening. So they'll go out there, they'll bring a contractor out there, and then they'll make sure to fix it. So you always want to get this done within that first year. This is a golden tip for those of you that don't know. The reps, most likely, if they're honest, they're going to tell you. If they're not, because remember, they represent the builder. So they may not tell you that within that first year, you can actually have a inspection done, okay, on the property with a third-party inspector, anybody of your choice. They go in there, they find everything that's wrong, you give that to the builder, and the builder has to get those items fixed, right? So that's a little golden nugget there. A lot of reps are not going to tell you that, because it's money that's coming out of the builder and they represent the builder, not you. So remember, if you're in the area here and you want to buy a brand new home, give us a call so that we can represent you and trying to get you the most out of the builder, and not the builder get the most out of you. Okay. Con number 4, however, would be the lack of established community. New neighborhoods may lack mature landscaping, amenities, and a sense of community. And this is true. A lot of times these big builders, they're buying up land like crazy, right? They buy 100 acres here, and now they're subdividing all these acres, putting in the plats for how many homes they're going to be putting on. And so what happens is they literally tear down all the trees and everything. And so all you have is a bare landscape. And then once they start building these houses, it looks like a war zone, because you have workers, trucks coming in and out. You have areas, that are being dug out, and you have a lot of you just have a lot of equipment out there. So that's con, that it doesn't look like the neighborhood's established. Now, eventually it will be, okay? That's the whole purpose. But while you're living there, and if they still have to build about another 200 homes, well, don't expect for those 200 homes to be built within overnight. right? Usually within 2 to 3 years, your neighborhood will then be established, and then you'll be able to, feel like a sense of community. But that doesn't mean that you can't feel that once you move in, right? As long as there's already homes there and people and children running around and playing and talking, you're always gonna feel like you have a community there, right? So pro number 5 would be modern design and technology, right? Open floor plans, smart home features, and up-to-date building codes enhance comfort and convenience, right? Unlike older homes, usually older homes are gonna have outdated floor plans. And so, the kitchen can be tucked away somewhere in the corner and the rest of the family somewhere all the way across the house, right? But in new modern homes, usually everything is open so that there's a nice even flow between the kitchen and the living room so that you don't feel like you're away from your guests if you do have a party and you want to entertain them, right? You always want to feel part of the crew when that party's going on. Now, here's a factor. One of the cons of a new home build, now con number 5 would be limiting negotiation power, okay? Builders rarely budge on price, though they may offer incentives like closing cost assistance or free upgrades. And this is true. So sometimes, unlike older homes, you can actually negotiate the prices down, maybe get the sellers to fix certain things. Here with the new builds, a lot of times they're pretty much stuck on that price because they're also offering you certain incentives. That could be a con for someone who wants to have a lower price, right? But depending on the incentives that they offer, that may be great too. So it depends on how you view things, right? But usually people that don't want to budge, or if you're trying to get a deal out of someone and they don't want to budge on price, that's usually seen as a con, right? So these were 5 pros and cons when buying a new home build. I hope that I was able to provide some value for you. And if we did, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And if you want to talk with us, if you're moving here to the area or you're moving from the area because you're either moving because of a new job or you're PCSing out, let us know. Shoot us a text, send us an email. Better yet, we have a Zoom link. Click on that link. It'll give you our calendar. We can set up a date to talk with you, and that way we can have that face-to-face interaction. But besides that, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.